Welcome into the Ringerverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. Jomi, the algorithm. Adeniran, you've got questions. He's got ways to trick you into doing what he wants you to do.
Whoa.
Old man Van, he of the receding resurgent hairline. Coke, Baby Chuck, the 24-karat closer. Together we are known as the Midnight Boys. All right, we'll be right back after this. All right, follow us on socials at the Midnight Boys Pod on Insta and TikTok, at Ringerverse on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Jomi.
Guys. What are you doing? What are you you just moving your mouth? I thought you were going to say something.
I'm doing what I do.
Guys, the socials are going great. Thanks to everybody for following and subscribing. Like we could get the numbers up, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing well.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
You're almost pleased.
I'm almost pleased. I can never, but that's my problem. I can never be like fully happy.
Strive for perfection.
Good.
Yeah,
You're trying to save the job. You're trying to elevate. That's the way you're supposed to be. I'm getting sequins all over my goddamn computer. We're on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You can watch every Midnight Boys and every House of Art episode on youtube.com/@Ringerverse and also on Spotify. Programming reminders. Next week, the Midnight Boys will be continuing their reactions to The Boys. Show is cooking right now. It's pretty good. As well as Button Mash. They give their thoughts on Saros.
Yep, Saros.
What is that?
That's it's a game from the people that made Returnal. It's like a bullet hell action shooter.
That sounds sublime. And Invincible Versus. What is this?
That's a fighting game with the Invincible characters.
Is Thrag on there?
Yeah.
Is it Thrag or Throg?
Thrag.
It's Thrag?
Grand Regent Thrag.
Grand Regent Thrag. So he's the top guy.
Yeah.
The
You
top
guys,
man.
big boss. On today's show, the Midnight Boys will be reacting. So is the man. Don't even start. Don't start with him. The Midnight Boys will be reacting to the hotly anticipated music biopic, Michael. Story of the life and times. Why are you guys laughing? The story
Why are we laughing?
of the life and times
You was laughing at the screening.
of the world's most famous singer ever,
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Are we gonna do a spoiler alert? Is there a Midnight Manifest coming for?
I did feel like an
biopic?
idiot making a Midnight Manifest for this because it was just like, and then he released Thriller.
Okay, guys. Do you have a manifest, first of all?
I do.
Okay, well,
Oh, yeah.
let's get
Give it
to the
to us.
manifest. Actually, we're going to spoil Michael. I'm discombobulated. So give me the spoiler warning first.
Spoiler warning for all things Michael, the comic books, the television shows,
All IP
Moonwalker,
related to
all
the
Michael
Moonwalker.
Captain
Captain
EO,
Michael,
one of my
Captain EO.
favorite rides.
Ghost.
Yeah,
The
all that.
Wiz.
Ghost, The Wiz.
all
Everything he's been
Mike.
involved in, okay? Everything.
No. Wait. Is it all Mike or everything just up till 1988?
I mean, we're going to talk about Michael Jackson. So who knows what we'll talk about. So just as a spoiler for Mike
Oh, boy.
stuff. I mean,
Okay,
I don't
I'm
understand
sure.
why
We
you
don't
even
wanna
do
get
a
Finding
Mike
Neverland.
spoiler warning.
We don't want to get a
All
sequel
right.
spoilers.
We might spoil that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, all right, spoiler warning. We're getting ready to talk about Michael. You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, now, we're on the other side of the spoiler warning. The movie itself, we have to talk about. So, let's do a Midnight Manifest, Chuck.
All right, this is your Midnight Manifest for Michael, directed by Antoine Fuqua, written by John Logan, starring Jafar Jackson as Michael, Nia Long, Coleman Domingo, Miles Teller. Michael is an abridged biopic that documents the story of the Jackson family and its titular star through the bad era. We begin in 1967 as overbearing and abusive patriarch Joe Jackson starts a boy band with his 5 sons. The Jackson 5 embark on a tour of small gigs until they're signed to Motown Records. The label's president, Berry Gordy, realizes the potential in a young Michael, and soon the singer goes solo. The bulk of the film follows Michael's journey to emancipate himself from Joe and the family at large as he chases his solo career. Our film goes to great lengths to demonstrate that Michael's lawyer and manager, John Branca, bodyguard Bill Bray, and the rest of the Jackson family were were absolutely vital in turning this Gary singer into an icon. With the success of Off the Wall and Thriller, Jackson becomes the most famous and successful pop star on the planet. But tragedy strikes when Michael is badly burned at a rehearsal for the Jackson 5's Victory Tour. As the pop star heals, he finally takes power into his own hands. And the movie ends with Michael standing on stage solo after the success of the album Bad. And as you could probably guess, our movie ends with the credits promising that Michael will return.
His story continues.
The story fucking continues. So, Van, as the person on this podcast that has the most to probably lose by being honest about this,
Most to lose.
as a leader of the Black community,
Leader of the Black community.
surprise.
That's how I introduce him to all my friends all the time. Leader of the Black community.
Leader
Van
of the Black
Lathan.
community. Do you want to get us started? Should we talk about our instant reactions to the film? What the surrounding brouhaha around the film? Where do you want to go?
Okay, this is where I'm going to start
Okay.
in positivity.
Oh, okay.
Jafar Jackson, good. Not just good, maybe great.
Really good.
As Michael Jackson.
Really good.
Jermaine's son.
Jermaine's son. Coleman Domingo. Believable portrayal of Joe Jackson. You know, if not very complex, but Coleman Domingo is a top flight performer. Nia Long, all of the requisite strength, vulnerability, and reservation that the character of Katherine Jackson would have. Okay. Jafar Jackson as a performer on stage in live concert footage show recreations or whatever approximates Michael brilliantly and beautifully, has what I would consider to be the spirit of Michael Jackson in his moves and stuff like that. Like, you know, you can tell that there's a cultural connection to him. He's like grown up watching his uncle all the time. He's seen people in his family dance like him. The Jackson family gene of talent is obviously in him.
And I've read that Jafar practiced for 2 years to truly like embody, like he definitely did the method, went to go stay where Michael stayed, performed for the whole family, Billie Jean, before he got cast.
Right.
It seemed like he definitely like
Committed himself to
committed.
that.
Yes.
That should be commended. Having said all of that, this movie is some bullshit. That's it. And look, and here's the deal. Why do I say that?
Okay.
Why do I say that?
Tell him why.
Why do I say that? I say that because Michael Jackson is such a consequential cultural figure. He is such an intriguing, controversial, famous, inspirational, whatever adjective you want to throw out there to say this guy matters in the story of American and world pop culture and art. All the way at the top. One of the top 5. Top 5 most famous, top 5 most imitated, all of it across whatever. You can't even, there's not enough things you can say. So if there's to be a biopic that is going to come out, you would think that biopic would give you some insight into the genius of Michael Jackson, the process of Michael Jackson, the challenges of Michael Jackson that are interrogated in a real way. And this movie just doesn't care about this. This movie treats Michael Jackson's story, to me, with very little seriousness, investigation. And I'm not even talking about, let's just get out of the fucking way right now. I'm not even talking about some of the things that you might expect to see in a Michael Jackson biopic that might be a little bit more angering or destabilizing or hard for people to swallow, which is the fact that Michael Jackson, in the second half of his career, was accused by several young men of child molestation. That was breaking while I was still in middle school. It's a whole deal. They raided Neverland. Cool. He ended up being on trial for that. He beat it at the trial. There was the Finding Neverland documentary that came out where a couple of alleged victims of Michael Jackson went into great detail talking about their relationships with him, and how he not only had sexual relationships with them, but also had like emotional relationships with them. One of the young men said that Michael Jackson put a ring on his finger. All of that stuff. You don't expect a movie that's made by his family to interrogate that stuff because they're just not gonna want to get into it. Apparently, some of it was in there. They went back, they reshot it.
Can just for the audience,
yeah,
because I want to be fair, this is reporting that's been out there. So
Okay.
this is from the Wall Street Journal, quote, the final third of the movie dealt with a 1993 lawsuit filed on behalf of a 13-year-old boy who alleged that the pop star had molested him, which Jackson denied. But Jackson's estate belatedly realized the settlement he had signed with the boy's family forbade it from being used for his story for commercial purposes. So King and Fuqua retooled the entire third act. Originally, the movie, from the reporting that I read, was 3 hours. This got shortened to 2. Then Variety reported that the film started in media res originally, with Jackson staring at a mirror as investigators search his house after accusations of child molestation. So, from the reporting from various sources, it seemed like the movie, when it was originally written and pitched, was supposed, and filmed, was supposed to get into this. We were supposed to get one Michael Jackson movie.
Okay. Fair enough. We've admitted that. Let's say you don't do that. Let's say you go, you know what? We're not going to do that. Already, that's not the type of biopic I like. These people they hold so much space in culture, but whether it be Ray, whether it be whomever, that I like biopics that go throughout the ups and downs of their life and talk about things that are flattering to them and unflattering, right?
Mm.
But let's say you're not going to do that. Let's say you're going to do the glossy, sanitized version of it. You still have to be serious about the genius of Michael Jackson, which this movie is not. And that's it. And it's not an anti-Black sentiment. It's not necessarily an anti-Michael Jackson sentiment. It's not an anti-movie sentiment. It's not anyone that's trying to take the air out of this. This thing that's going on Twitter is fucking mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me. We're having a conversation not even about Michael Jackson. We're not having a conversation about the Jackson family. We're having a conversation about a movie about Michael Jackson, a movie made by top-flight creatives that are like something less than deities, meaning they can miss too. And I'm sorry, but this movie fucking missed.
I'll be real. I don't give a fuck who gets mad. I think this movie is abhorrent and creatively bankrupt. And I'll start with the creatively bankrupt part. As someone who loves music, got my start writing about music, grew up on Michael Jackson, I think one of the things that made me most sad watching this is I'm like, this movie, I don't know if it's uninterested in really uncovering what made Michael Jackson such a genius. Where it's like, we go so fast through Off the Wall, Thriller, all of these just monumental moments that I'm like, wait, maybe as a culture, we don't know how to contextualize. This was a Black man that was dancing in ways that no one had ever seen before, who was making videos like Thriller, completely upending the entire music industry. What we envisioned just music as like an art form and product can be. Everything from the way he dressed, to the way he sang, to the melodies. And it was like watching this movie, I'm like, hey, even if you're gonna do the sanitized version of this, why do all of the creatives seem so uninterested in spending time in the most interesting place with Michael Jackson, which is just like, there was never before, and we probably never will see someone who is that gifted. And it was like, when I was watching, says so much about the movie. The funniest part and the best part of him making Thriller in this movie was watching CGI Bubbles bob his head in the studio. And I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what the fuck? What is happening?
Nah, it felt like state propaganda. Right?
Yes.
Like where
for certain characters in particular.
Well, I mean, the Michael stuff, there's a scene, and we talked about this like immediately after, where you're doing the Thriller music video, right?
Yeah.
And Michael goes up to whoever and is like, hey man, can you tell John we gotta see the feet? You know, we gotta see the feet. And it's like, so John Landis, who like has got his own issues, but in that moment in time, the hottest directors in Hollywood was the man. And Michael's like, yo, we got this. Here's how we're gonna shoot the music video. Like, it just the whole thing just kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to be nice and kind because, you know, it's like family worked on it. There are some good stuff about it, but it just felt like if you know what it felt like to me, it felt like the last dance of music documentaries, where it's Michael Jordan just getting his stuff off. Like, yeah, I was the man. Every single person is in there. He was the man. He was great. He was this. He was that. Nobody's pushing back on that. Nobody's arguing about that. And you're sitting there, you're watching. You go from 3 scenes, music video. 3 scenes, music video. Even Colman Domingo, who's trying his best with the script that for me just fell completely flat, is doing his, at most, he's mildly inconveniencing Michael Jackson.
Can I tell you something? There are 2 things about The Last Dance that make The Last Dance, to me, a good documentary. 2 things about everything you just said is true. But there are 2 things about The Last Dance that make it a really great documentary. 2 things that are just brutally real about The Last Dance. The footage and Michael Jordan. When you watch The Last Dance, which is a documentary basically with Jordan's blessing, there are things that are left out, questions that you have. Jordan's family's not in it very much. You know that there were probably some snafus or considerations there to be made, but whatever. But when you watch Michael, he is, you know that he believes everything that he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He believes everything that he's saying. Michael Jordan is not trying to give the glossiest version of himself. He actually cries. He goes, all of the things that you guys are going to look at and like have a problem with me about, he was like, I was a winner. And did you ever win anything? And when I watched that, I went, here's a guy that's looking back on his life as he makes this documentary and really wrestling with what everything cost him.
Mm-hmm.
His fingers are mangled up when he holds his finger up. You can see the game on him. Michael seems, he's smoking cigars, he's drinking, like he is isolated by all of his greatness. And that comes across in The Last Dance, along with the footage of Mike everywhere, which kind of show him in ways that he's controlling what footage is getting out, but at least there's a tinge of reality to it. And Michael Jordan is like, at that particular point in his life, was, I guess, so used to being heralded as a Greek god that he couldn't help but come across a little bit like a dick, right?
Yeah.
And so that makes that real. This movie, the number one thing, this is almost, people talk about a cash grab. No, this movie is like a culture grab. It seeks to deify Michael Jackson in a way that makes you think the movie is apologizing for Michael Jackson. He gets burnt, right? We know that Michael Jackson died of a drug overdose, right? We know that he died of being administered propofol, right? He gets burned. And when he gets burned, they're talking about the fact that he's going to need pain medication. He says, I don't want to take medication. Subtext there. Everything that happened to Michael later on wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Right? That is the movie which is almost apologizing for what we think about Michael Jackson or trying to correct it and not actually concerned with the reason why we can't let Michael Jackson go. And the reason why we can't let Michael Jackson go is because he was so fucking good that he stirred something inside of us that we don't know how to contend with. We want to be happy. We want to go out and have emotion. And there are only a couple of motherfuckers that are able to make us feel that way. And this guy was able to do it better than anybody else. And we have a complicated relationship with him. And that's just the fucking truth of it. And when I was in the movie watching it, I was like, why don't they take the conflict in me about him as serious as I take it? Like, why are you talking down to me? I feel that serious about what this movie does and how this film misses.
So going off what you just said, watching this movie, you can feel, especially the Jackson family, Bronca, all of the executive producers over it, because there was multiple points where it's like a bullet point presentation that a family would do for a son, where they're like, Joe Jackson is abusive in this film, but it goes out of its way to almost apologize and be like, but he was still a great man. When Michael is looking at Peter Pan or like going to toy stores, it's showing you, but Michael's connection with children was genuine. It's all of y'all that made it into something sinister. When he's going to get his first procedure for the nose, it's like, but see the doctor's
But he's so
like,
beautiful.
You are so beautiful. I think the cynical part of this, instead of treating Michael Jackson like a nuanced figure where some of this was in this movie where it was like, oh, you guys are almost struggling to tell the story of what happens when a Black family finally reaches the American dream and gets everything they want, and how does it come undone? Instead of telling that story, which they get very close to, they're just like, actually, it was never Michael's fault. And Michael was just like, look at how much he was actually doing great. And I was like, whoa. We all know Michael Jackson did a bunch of great shit. He can also be a monster. Like, and I know a biopic is never going to tell that story, but personally, as a viewer, I felt manipulated.
Well, because we know what happens.
Yeah, and it's the fact that, like, I was aware of the fact that it was going to gloss over pretty much all of the myriad of controversies that he had throughout his life and career. I feel like the artistic responsibility of making a biopic about Michael Jackson, even in the short term, is at least learning some sort of insight into what artistically is going on in his mind. And knowing that this is essentially a Jackson family co-pro that the majority of the family is signing off on, to at least usher that in with some sort of familial insight into who he was as a person without any real concern about what that looks like to his fans or to the public in general. It's a selfish move, but also it's kind of the thing that that a family actually can't do. You can't have that level of bias and insight into somebody and make a film like the ones that we're trying to like.
They're protecting the
objectively.
That is the whole thing. Like, because even when the Jackson family, the whole estate, Michael Jackson was not making that much money. And like since then, with the Michael Jackson music, like you could read all about this, the Michael Jackson musical, the rights to his music, he has become a big business. And you can feel in this movie, you're like, oh, this is just another rung in almost trying to recontextualize Michael Jackson and almost sanitize him in a way where it's like, oh, as a culture, we have decided that, like, we accept Michael Jackson. Like, we accept it. We're still going to listen to his music. And this movie goes a long way into being, it almost feels like the cherry on top of a very evil thing that we still as a society don't want to.
Do you feel like there's a level of like criticism and shame that comes with people questioning that narrative nowadays? That like there's like an utterance of like, okay, well, if you highlight like the monstrous things that Michael was accused of or did, that there's a level of like, oh, we don't need to hear about that.
I actually think what's happening now, the nuance of it is that I think because Black people in this country have so few heroes and stars that make it to that level, that make it to the level of like, let's be honest, a Michael Jackson, a Bill Cosby, a Diddy. When those men are brought down, there is the impetus to be like, wait, so why when they're white, why are you tearing down our heroes? And I'm like, hey, yo, two things can be true. Someone can do something great, and they could have been a monster while they were doing it. I emotionally maybe get the pushback. I still feel like it is a very hollow, intellectually devoid conversation. Generally.
I would be real if I wasn't saying this, and I've always been shocked about this. Not shocked. I've always been surprised about this. So I worked at TMZ for a long time. I said this on Bill's podcast. I'll say it again. I'll probably say it on Higher Learning too. There are a lot of people that have looked directly into all of the stuff surrounding Michael Jackson and straight up think that none of it was true. In a sincere way.
Yeah.
Like there is, and I have to say this. There are people that I worked with at TMZ that, like the news director at TMZ, that went through, because as Michael was, I don't think that case was going on while TMZ was going on. It might have been going on while Celebrity Justice was going on, which showed
his second case
TMZ.
or the
I'm talking about just all of the stuff, because there are FBI files on Michael Jackson as well, right? And would look at all of this stuff. And I remember I made a joke on the show one day, and this is a white boy from Orange County, pulled me to the side and said, I don't think Michael did it. And I was like, which part of it? He said, none of it. Like, I don't think that he did it. Like, I'm serious. And like, he was like, the reason why Michael beat it in court, like, how familiar are you with the court case? And I was like, I'm familiar in the court case in terms of the broad strokes. He's like, if you get familiar with the details of the court case and with some of the other stuff that was going on, he's like, this is before Finding Neverland. I should say this. This is before Finding Neverland. But like, it's like, I don't think that Michael Jackson actually did this. And there are a number of people who I've talked to who aren't the people that you grew up with and stuff like that, that know a lot about this and have looked into this, that feel like there is enough to say that this stuff did not happen. Now, that is, in a way, an incredibly controversial thing to say, particularly with the cultural conversation that we've had about victims, allegations, believing victims, and particularly believing victims like this that are child victims in a situation like this. Secondly, there are all kinds of things that you can look at and be like, Michael hanging around with young children and all of that stuff. Why do you do that? What's going on? Was there some sort of pathology there? What was happening, right? All of that's true. What I am saying about this particular thing is this. Let's say you go, we can't do that. You're going to make the Ray Charles movie, you're going to put some drugs in it. You're going to make the Dr. King movie, you're not going to ever show Dr. King stepping out on career. You're going to do that. You know what I want to know? I want to know how difficult it was for Dr. King to come up with the I Have a Dream speech.
Yeah.
I want to know what Dr. King was going through when he was on the road. I want to see what he overcame. I want to see an actual story about the genius and the sacrifice of this once in history cultural figure. Y'all, the movie don't do that. It's a scene in the fucking movie where they get bubbles for the first time. And
Wait, can we talk about the bubble scene?
And I'm like, yo, could we have taken the bubble scene out maybe and spent a little extra time on Mike in the studio with Quincy Jones making the greatest album in music history?
Yeah.
Andy Serkis needs work, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Thriller was boiled down to, the creation of Thriller was boiled down to moving Post-it notes around on a cork.
There's a point in this movie, it is so funny. Because I'm just like, yo, it commits every biopic Sid, where Michael is writing out Mama Say, Mama Say. He's writing it on a Post-it note and then puts it up on the wall.
Goes,
And I was just like, hey, y'all. Am I an asshole?
What is Mama Say, Mama Say, Mama Say? What is that? Does anybody know?
What it means?
No, you should know this.
I'm not 100% sure, but it's supposed to be some.
It's
like
African. It's an African. Okay, why? Why that thing?
Yeah. What intrigued you about this, Michael?
Know what we know? We know that Michael Jackson had a deep, deep cultural curiosity.
Yeah.
Everywhere Michael went, whatever dances they was doing, Michael was on top of it. They showed a little bit. However the singing was. If you could do something awesome, Michael would give you the opportunity to do that awesome thing. He would incorporate it into what he was doing, full of influences, and was able to perfect all of them and translate them through his talent in a way that almost nobody could do before and nobody has done since. It's just not in there.
I will say, to me, one of the most interesting parts, I'm like, yo, if you actually wanted to do a Michael Jackson movie, I'm like, this movie shouldn't have been Cradle to the Grave. You could have just done Off the Wall. You could have done Thriller.
Any of those albums, you could have made an entire movie about.
The Making a Thriller would have been
one of my favorite parts in the film where I was like, oh, I wish y'all would have spent more time on this. Michael is like trying to brainstorm. When he makes Thriller, he's like, I want to make one of the greatest albums of all time. And he's struggling with what to call it. And it shows us in montage him watching all of these monster movies. And I'm like, the subtext of that scene is like, oh, this is someone who feels ugly on the inside. What he sees, and it's kind of like connecting the plastic surgery, some of the Neverland stuff, all of this, and just his love of horror movies. And you're like, oh, this is really fascinating. Mm-hmm. And they blow past it. One of the funniest lines.
5 minute segment. It's a 5 minute segment.
This is a real line where I'm almost positive this is a real line because I read it in an interview once where Michael's like sitting in the pool, like he's lounging in the pool, and he's like, yo, I gotta concentrate. If I don't listen to God sending me this music, he'll give it to Prince. I'm like, no.
That's great.
That's interesting. Like, that is interesting. That's 30 minutes. I'm like, his relationship with Prince and how much those two black artists hated each other. Yeah. Like, there was respect there, but they hated each other.
On Thriller, do you guys remember the disclaimer that comes in front of the Thriller video?
I vaguely remember it.
Yeah, so in front of the Thriller video, Michael goes out of his way, or the makers of Thriller go out of their way, to say that this video in no way reflects a belief in the occult.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That this video don't mean that I'm a fucking devil worshiper.
Yeah, right.
Right? This video don't mean that I run out and like worship Baphomet or something like that.
Said like a devout
or go to
Jehovah's
Bohemian
Witness.
Grove and all of that fucking shit. Like this don't mean that. That's on there because Mike and his family were Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes.
And to represent something like that in a music video was insanely daring for him to do, coming from that tradition. These are things that I know about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
This is stuff that I understand about Michael Jackson. That the Thriller video was rebellious, not just because he put Vincent Price, who I used to be fucking afraid of, into the music video and all of that stuff, and because they're doing all of that stuff. It was rebellious because it flew in the face of his family tradition of and it was a swing. It was a real swing. Michael Jackson was daring. Like Michael Jackson was like a disruptor in many, many different ways, right? Like Michael Jackson learned the moonwalk from other people around LA he saw doing the dance, and then he brought the moonwalk to the world. Like all of these scenes are so important in creating this man who's become like more than a man to a mythical figure, and the movie just, I don't know.
I'm gonna throw it back to you because you had a moment in the theater that you literally yelled about afterwards, where like if you can go on Wikipedia and do a cursory read of Michael Jackson's exploit and his life and everything, and the one thing that shocked you, it shocked me, and I'm sure it shocked you guys, was when he's like, "I need new representation," and he goes to the room.
Oh my God!
And he's like, "Miles Teller."
This is the actual biopic that happens right now.
And I'm like sitting there like,
who are you?
Yo, who is? I'm like, okay, this guy must be like the most important person.
The camera zooms in on Miles Teller like it is Jesus coming up from on high, being like, I discovered Michael Jackson.
This must be the most important most important person in Michael's life. This person literally changed the film because when Bill shows up, it's just like, oh, here's your guy,
here's your security guard.
Boom. Bill's in the movie the whole time. Everything else, everything that's put around Mike is pretty simple, except for Bubbles. Bubbles gets his own scene.
That's fucking insane.
Miles Teller, he's like, yo, everybody clear out. What are you gonna do for me? How can you help me?
Can you make me the biggest star in the world?
I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, if I'm taking this movie as fact, right, which they want me to, what I'm supposed to,
yeah,
then this guy must be the most important person that Michael Jackson has ever come across his entire life.
An executive producer.
Executive producer of the movie.
Well, Jomi, what did I say? During the movie, we sit down, we looking at the movie. During the movie, we looking at the movie. And we watching it. And obviously, I see Miles Teller in the room. So I know that
He's
whoever
important,
this guy is, it's fucking Miles Teller, right? It's fucking Whiplash. So like I see Miles Teller in the movie. I'm like, okay, this guy. But then it's like, it's a room full of all of these suits. You won't recognize another actor in the scene.
No.
In order to make that actor stand out. You know it. Because, hey, everybody else get out. It's me and this guy. I look at Jomi, I'm like, what the fuck is this scene in the movie for? Like, why is this in the movie? And I look at Jomi, I'm like, dead ass, who is this guy? What is he? Why is his arrival? Michael looks at him and goes, can you make me the biggest star in the world?
Off the Wall has already come out at this point.
I mean, he wasn't the biggest star in the world after Off the Wall.
Right.
And sure, there are people around Michael Jackson that protected him and helped him get to where he was, without a doubt, right?
Yeah.
And this John Branca guy seems to be a pretty good guy. He's on the board of some Jackie Robinson shit. He's on the board of some Barack Obama shit. It seems like he's all right. I don't know too much about him, right? But he has had a long career in music with
Very
a lot of
foundational,
other.
worked with the Beach Boys.
All of this is true, right? Right away, I knew that guy had something to do with this movie because that makes no sense in this movie to have him in it when Janet Jackson isn't in the movie. Michael's brothers are basically extras in the film.
Yeah.
Why does it matter that Michael's brothers would be more prominently featured in the movie? Michael's a lot unlike his brothers. Like his brother, Jermaine Jackson, which is barely mentioned in the movie, stayed with Motown when Michael and the family went to CBS. All of this stuff, which is covered extensively in the Jackson Family movie.
Good movie.
Fantastic movie.
Grew up watching it.
Where
Good movie.
Michael Jackson is treated like someone that you understood to become Michael Jackson. Looking in the mirror with his mom going, I hate my nose, my face is breaking out. As he's getting older, he is contending with the fact that he is a child star that is turning to an adult man and is looked at differently by people. They treat Michael Jackson like an actual person. Now, this movie doesn't have to spend a lot of time on this. Is a Michael Jackson movie. But what I'm saying is there's context for all of this stuff. There's context for why he is, like for how he felt and all of that. But the movie cares about the fucking lawyer. That is the cynicism in the film. We don't need the fucking lawyer.
No.
What we need is to understand why this nigga could sing and dance better than anybody else that's ever done it. That's what we need.
Do you also think, because like when I'm watching, the stuff that makes me laugh about Michael Jackson now is like all the stories of just like other celebrities and other friends being like, hey, yo, y'all knew Michael Jackson from the videos and shit. When the cameras was off, that was a real nigga. His voice dropped.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't
All the
give a
Chris Tucker
shit.
stuff, yeah.
Like, and I was like, that was part of it. I'm like, if your family is the executive producers of this film, I was wondering, I'm like, why don't I feel like I'm getting anything that's approximating the real Michael? Why am I not getting any stories that weren't in the biographies that is like, this is coming from the family? Where we're like, yo, you guys thought you knew our brother, but this was a black man in a white world. Where like the movie does touch upon him, like with the Beat It video and reaching out to the Bloods and the Crips and everybody else. Like it makes it aware that I'm like, Michael is not only black, but he feels like a leader in the black community, but it never pushes past a Wikipedia entry
Yeah, why would it
on
do
this
that?
shit.
We got to get to the next music video. Why would it do anything more? Right? Like that's like, again, he does a great job being Michael. The one I wanted to ask you guys, like, what was your favorite musical sequence? Because that's what they're like really interested in. The one that I couldn't get past, I think Jafar did an amazing job, like embodying Michael in the performances. The one that I can't get past was Thriller.
Thriller was bad.
It's too.
yeah.
Maybe it's just too iconic. It's too like when you think of Michael Jackson music videos. At least for me, that's the first place you go, right? And to see that, I was like, I'll not really mess with it. On the other hand, though, the Motown Celebration
Into Bad.
and Bad,
Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing.
was it?
Well,
It's
I will say the Motown Celebration, it was funny because at one point the camera pans and this light skinned boy, he's like, ah!
Yeah, I know. There's like a lot of shots of like, this movie wants to reward you for having been a fan of Michael because like, there are so many shots of people not just like freaking out and being ecstatic, but like looking up to him as if he is a deity.
Is it the Bad or the last one, the Victor, whichever one, where like 4 to 5 people pass out?
Yeah.
And they just keep showing that?
That was happening.
Well,
though.
that was
I'm not
happening.
saying
That was
it's not
happening.
happening.
it was going
I'm not
crazy. Like
saying it's not
if you
happening.
watch all those old concert videos I had,
People
they
were
were
fainting.
literally like passing people over the thing so they could get to medical attention because Michael was making them apart.
How many times do we need to see that in this movie? Like you see it once or twice, we get it. People are passing out, people faint. They spam that move crazy in the last like 30 minutes. He was great though. I think Bad personally is probably my favorite.
Right.
But the Motown joint, he was also cooking with that one.
All right, so I did not like the beginning of it because I know it did happen, but dog, I was falling out where MJ unites the Bloods and the Crips.
Right. This is
Right,
the
he
sea
brought
walk.
the sets together, man.
But the scene when he's showing them the moves.
When he's figuring out.
Yeah, and
Beat
he's like,
it.
that's what I wanted more in
Yes.
the movie because I was
Yeah.
like, when Jafar does an amazing job because when he's in front of the mirror and he's talking to his dancers and you can see in real time him leading them and how to move and everything. I was like, oh, you guys are showing the genius of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He is like thinking holistically of everything that's happening. And I was like, oh, this shit is fucking fire.
Right.
That's what I wanted for all of the scenes where I'm like, yo, do not blow past this. This is one of the greatest songs of all time. Like, tell me all of the tidbits, all of the little shit.
Right.
As a music nerd, that's probably where I was let down the
And
most.
It's only interested in recreating that verbatim.
Yeah.
Like, okay, watch this video on YouTube. Now watch this movie and see how well that they recreated that in the movie.
Which
That's
I
not
don't-
important
which
to
I
me.
don't understand because as awesome as Jafar is, all of those performances should only serve story purpose. Because
Sure.
if I want to go and watch Michael Jackson perform Bad in 1989 in London,
We can just watch that
I
right
don't
now
have
on
to
YouTube.
watch his nephew do it. I can watch it on YouTube. You guys want to mind if I do something that I've never done on a podcast before?
Dude.
What's up?
Read a section of a Wikipedia, and I want to read this section because I want you guys to know seriously how interesting Michael Jackson's life actually was.
Mhm.
Like how groundbreaking in a lot of ways Michael Jackson was as a performer and as the unparalleled heavyweight champion of American pop culture.
Go for it.
Michael Jackson at one point owned the catalog of the Beatles.
Yes.
Which is why when we talk about the fact that when he passed away, he was having money problems, he had crazy assets,
Mm-hmm.
but he was just incredibly extravagant. Obviously, you saw him buying giraffes and
Yeah.
building all of that type of shit. So there's a lot of debt.
He cleared out a whole mall. One time.
Right. It was a lot of debt. If at any point he was able to like go on tour, do that, he was gonna be able to come out of debt just because how famous Michael Jackson was. Okay. But this is the story of how Michael Jackson got the Beatles catalog. All right.
Right.
It's a couple paragraphs, so bear with me for a second. In 1981, American singer Michael Jackson collaborated with Paul McCartney, writing and recording several songs together. Jackson stayed at the home of McCartney and his wife Linda during the recording sessions, becoming friendly with both. One evening at the dining table, McCartney brought out a thick bound notebook displaying all the songs which he owned the publishing rights to. Jackson grew more excited as he examined the pages. He inquired about how to buy songs and how the songs were used. McCartney explained that music publishing was a lucrative part of the music business. Jackson replied by telling McCartney that he would buy the Beatles songs one day. McCartney laughed, saying, "Great, good joke." Sitting in front of one of the members of Lennon McCartney and telling him, "I'm gonna own your catalog one day."
Mm-hmm.
Jackson was first informed that the ATV catalog, that's the Beatles catalog, was up for sale in September 1984 by his attorney, John Branca.
Yeah.
Want to put this nigga in the scene for a movie?
Do that.
Put him in that fucking scene. Who had put together Jackson's earlier catalog acquisitions. Warned of the competition he would face in buying such popular songs, Jackson remained resolute in his decision to purchase them. Branca approached McCartney's attorney to query whether or not the Beatles were playing in the bid. The attorney said he was not. It cost too much money. So the idea that he went and snaked that from Paul McCartney is in fact untrue. Paul McCartney didn't have the money at the time to buy it, and Mike did. According to Brett Reuter, who negotiated the sale of ATV music for Holmes at court, we had given Paul McCartney first right of refusal, but Paul didn't want it at that time. Lennon's widow, Yoko Ono, had been contacted as well, but also did not enter bidding. The competitors in the 1984 sale included Charles Koppelman, Marty Bandler, and Virgin Records, all three competing for the Beatles catalog. Michael Jackson is going to get it. This is a fascinating story to me. New York real estate tycoon Samuel LaFranc and financier Charles Knapp. All of those people are into it. On November 20th, 1984, Jackson sent a bid of $46 million for the whole thing. Branca suggested that the amount of the bid, after having spent time evaluating the earnings of the catalog and learning of another bid for $39 million. So Mike wanted to bid over them. He was only interested in the copyrights, but the packaging also including buildings, a recording studio, all of that stuff. The two signed a non-binding memorandum of mutual interest in December 1984, and Jackson's team began a 4-month process of verifying all of the legal documents, financial reports, and every significant composition in a nearly 4,000-song catalog. Sony ATV actually ended up merging. Part of that was Michael Jackson. Sony/ATV, part of that was owned by Michael Jackson. That's much power he wielded in the music industry at one point. Anyway, at the end of this, what ends up happening is Michael gets it, but he has to work out a deal basically with these people in Australia, the Australian government, to go in there and appear in Australia a couple of times a year to make this entire acquisition happen. This is like music history. This is Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney, the Beatles. It's business. It's perceived double dealing. It's perceived snaking of a friend. All of this is how interesting this guy's fucking life was. We could talk about
That's
the
one
way people,
story, by the way.
That's one story.
But also what I think that story illustrates and what the movie is not interested in is I'm like, think about it. We all know that story as Michael Jackson fucked over Paul McCartney and the Beatles.
Yeah.
Versus what the Jackson family could have done is this was a black man at the height of his power, realizing what true power was and how he can be portrayed when he tries to do the same thing that Paul McCartney was already doing. That to me is interesting. And the movie sometimes gets to that point where I'm like, no. I know Michael Jackson, and rightfully so for a lot of things he's done, became kind of a punchline. But this, like, you're not that type of genius, and you don't make that type of music if you're not a little shrewd or a lot shrewd. And if you don't know how you want to navigate the business. And I'm just like, wait, if the Jackson family is so interesting in setting the record of like, this was the real Michael you didn't know, why are they settling for basically just playing the hits?
Well, it's not even playing the hits. Like, we didn't learn anything about Michael that we didn't already know in this movie. Do you think?
I think what this movie wants us to know, because they spend a lot of time on it, is they're just like, and this was when Michael got his pet rat.
Right.
And this is when he got a snake. And now Bubbles is here. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
My favorite part of the movie was when they had to say LaToya's name every single time so we didn't get confused
Right.
about who that was.
I knew Janet wasn't in this movie, but I really was like, hey, no, they're not even going to put a little baby. It's
Yeah,
just
like,
not,
where is she?
Janet did not want
declined to be involved in the film. In
It's all-
66, when they were in Gary, Catherine would have been pregnant with Janet, or Janet would have been in
It's the
movie.
multiverse. This is an alternate universe where Janet Jackson wasn't born.
Mhm.
It's really that simple, guys.
So, all right, so let's get positive for a minute. What is the best part of this movie?
By far, Jafar Jackson.
Jafar
Yeah.
occasionally approximating Michael in sometimes uncanny ways, not even just in dancing, but like
Yeah.
you hear his voice, you hear him like sneer or look at somebody, and like the light hits him just right, and I'm like, holy shit, you look just like Michael.
right.
Like there's an occasional uncanniness that I don't think I could get over with Jafar's presence in this movie.
For me, like, I think the bad performance at the end was like
amazing.
It's
Yeah, it's
amazing.
really-
if
it's really
they would have
good.
been rolling the credits or not, I might have been like, hey man, you know what? That was whack, but at least, I got to listen to some good Michael Jackson
And honestly,
music.
it was the transition from the Motown Celebration, it's him like walking out of the tunnel in Dodger Stadium and in the same shot into the tunnel in London. And like
Yeah.
the music is like transitioning from the closing of that song to the opening of Bad. And I'm like, this is incredible.
The movie,
This feels electric.
I did the math. The movie, it's an hour, 22 minutes in before he moonwalks.
Okay.
It's like the most Michael Jackson, at least for me, the most iconic dance move of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson. And they're like, you got to wait 90 minutes. It's not quite Surf Dracula, but I thought it was funny that
Honestly,
you had to wait 90 minutes to see Michael Jackson.
there was some
moonwalk.
insights into the Jackson 5 era that I kind of wanted to stay in a bit, because that whole era is its own story.
I thought,
like-
the movie is bookended by the Jackson 5 stuff.
Right.
Right? It's like we start with the Jackson 5, we end the last time the Jackson 5 are on
Ever
stage
performed, yeah.
together, which might have worked if you were actually interested in telling the story
Of the Jackson
all
5.
the Jackson
But
5.
I will say, whoever the young homie was who played like young Michael, I thought
he was good too.
Really good.
Really great.
He was good too.
Like really, really
You
good.
guys, of the people that the brother that played Mike's bodyguard,
Really good.
Bill,
cool,
really good.
Bill, like really
Yeah.
of the performances in the movie, everybody talented.
Yeah.
Neil
It's like-
Long, shout out
Neil
Neil
Long,
Long.
Dion
yeah.
Cole is Don
Dion
King.
Cole
Dion
is Don
Cole
King
is-
in a cool scene. I will say that the sequence of Michael being burned on set of the Pepsi video
That's insane.
and what happened after that stuff worked for me.
I didn't like
really.
when his hair was getting burned. That
No,
was I
It
laughed.
was kind of fake. It was very much like, all right, man, we got the CW budget 1 second, because he not really like, it wasn't like, it didn't look great. But I think
Emotionally, I know what a big deal that was in the life of Michael Jackson. So like that entire, but the way they treated it, even after that, it was like, yeah, we're gonna donate all the money from the settlement
To the burn
kids.
unit.
And look, I'm sure all of that's real, but
yeah.
it just
To say it's so like,
you can just tell, man. When I'm up here talking about my dad, right? I talk about my father, and I spend a lot of time on like how much my father meant to me and how awesome a guy my father was. But it also, in order to be fair to him, and sometimes I feel like, seriously, sometimes I feel like in order to honor him, I have to honor him in the way that he actually was. Because if I don't, even if I'm not doing it in my mind, I'm double indicting him for these things. If I lie about who he is, or if I hide parts of who he is, I'm saying that those parts of him are bigger than the other parts.
right.
So the reason why people might hear me is like, why is he always so transparent? I'm not saying that they had to do this in this movie. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying there's a way to look at this that says, if you can't even attempt to give people an accurate depiction of someone, it's like your shame is coming through the movie. It's like your feeling about it is coming through the movie. Is that it's something that you haven't come to terms with because you're not willing to discuss it. And the entire time I'm watching this, I'm like, either they're trying to for a new generation of people, tell a story about Michael Jackson that in no way anyone that lived through any of this stuff is going to believe, or they're embarrassed about some of this stuff. And to me, I just don't know why you would undertake it.
I mean,
I'll be real. For our Black heroes, because it's still happening, do we really want to contend with who Hove is, or Beyonce, or Obama, or any of these people? No. Do we want them to be nuanced figures, or have they got to such a point in society where it's like, hey, this is for us. We can have that conversation amongst ourselves. We can't have this conversation in public. And I think that's where a lot of the animosity is coming from, especially from like people who are very like pro Michael, which is just like, why can't we just celebrate our brother? Why does it always have to be about the negative shit? But I agree with you where I'm like, the nuance of Michael Jackson, the failures of Michael Jackson are just as interesting and important to me as the success, because I think it demonstrates something about what it is not only to be human, but to be American, which is to reach those heights and to do everything that he accomplished. You are going to have to sell something.
Right.
And you are going to have to be part of a system that is going to destroy people's lives.
Mhm.
And it's like, how do we as fans of music, how do we as Black fans of music, how is just people who love culture, can we look that in the eye? Because I'm like, all of these biopics, if we want all of these heroes have a moment in their career where they do something where I'm just like, yeah, there's a reason like, yo, there are no ethical millionaires and billionaires. I'm like, hey, you gonna have to walk over some people. And I'm like, to me, that makes you that's what Michael's music to me. If you listen to Michael's music, I'm like, he's contending with it in the fucking music.
And it's really true. And I think the line that hits hardest for me in this movie, and it's the skeleton of a much smarter and nuanced movie is here. You can't see it that well, but it's there. The line that I can't remember the name of the Jackson 5's first producer was, where he's like
Lawrence Tate,
yeah. He was telling Michael to lie about his age. He's like, in this business,
Barry Gordy?
Yeah.
You don't know Barry Gordy?
I forgot the guy's name. Sorry.
I don't know Barry Gordy.
Okay, he doesn't know Barry
My
Gordy
fault,
either.
I wasn't there in 1968.
I'm sorry. I don't know the lore that like that.
Wait, y'all both don't know Barry?
Hold on.
I've heard of Motown.
Hold on.
I know he's part of Motown.
I'm 29 years old.
We're
not doing this. We're not doing this. Oh, my fault. You don't know who Dave Cowens or Bob Cousy is. My fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's calm down.
Nigga, this is Barry Gordy.
Do your thing. Keep doing it.
My fault.
Keep doing it.
I don't know who. Brother,
keep doing it.
How am I supposed to know?
Just let me know when you're finished.
Tell me how. No. Tell me how I'm supposed to know.
Okay, so Barry Gordy basically invented black pop music. Okay, so
it's educational. Thank you. I'm learning.
I'm not saying that there weren't popular artists that were black before then. There's Nat King Cole. There's all kinds of people that had to. But Motown became the sound of America.
Right.
Revolutionized.
Yes.
Not just black pop music as far as R&B is concerned. But name as many Motown artists as you can.
Temptations.
Okay.
There are forgetting the women group. Stevie's Motown.
Stevie's Motown.
Stevie's Motown.
Stevie Young, remember
Stevie's Motown.
Yeah.
The Supremes are Motown.
The Supremes, that's what I was
Marvin Gaye is Motown.
The Supremes.
Smokey Robinson is Motown. The
Yes.
Jackson 5 are Motown.
And it's like the younger generations associate Motown as a genre of music rather than a label that ushered in a bunch of
That's
artists.
fine.
No, but that's what
what I'm saying
I'm
is,
like vaguely familiar with Motown. Barry Gordon was never in the equation. when they were teaching.
I
us
I
Motown.
mean, I know that
Right.
I know that you guys are younger, but come on, man.
that was not.
Okay,
that
I'm
was
sorry,
That
I'm
was
sorry.
not in the syllabus. I don't know what to tell you.
So when Barry Gordon tells Michael, in
Barry Gordy.
Gordy.
Nigga, Barry Gordy's the last dragon. Barry Gordy. That's the name of the movie.
this is just
Barry
will
Gordy's
say,
the
is
last
he-
dragon.
Can I just be
Barry
honest?
Gordy.
they don't want to
Dan-
educate us.
They
You
don't.
know?
They
No,
don't.
Dan,
It's
can I
one
be
shameless.
honest?
Like, I'm sorry,
This
I
is the
didn't know.
failure of the movie. Because I'm like, the movie should have been teaching the
Exactly.
audience about Barry fucking Gordy. There is a reason why when he sees Michael that young
Yeah.
and he notices the talent, he's like, dog, this is a Lil James Brown. I can make him into the biggest star in the world.
And I'm in a
That's
movie-
also why when Jermaine stays and they all go,
Yeah.
it's like you are separating from the Godfather of Black pop
Yeah.
music.
And again, failure on the movie part because that's Barry Gordy, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
And
Barry
then I'm
Gordy,
like,
man.
that's Lorenz Tate. But we be like, hey, shout out Lorenz Tate, man.
Did y'all
Good
do y'all
for
know who
I'm gonna
Quincy
be
Jones
real,
is?
bro. It's
Yeah,
like
we know
this-
who Quincy Jones is.
Wait, so you know who Quincy Jones is?
You don't know who Barry Gordy is?
I know who Quincy Jones is. Come on.
Hey, can I say? Can I
Quincy's
say
a bit more vocal.
Don't do that.
Hey,
Come
can
on,
I
man.
be real? I know this is gonna be the most controversial part of the podcast, but let me put it to you like this: it's like we sitting up here and we critiquing the movie, we talking about Michael Jackson, all of that. You know what we should do? We gotta get into the old school shit. I get it. We gotta know who Barry Gordy is.
Okay.
We're covering pop culture. We gotta know Barry Gordy, man. We gotta know who Barry Gordy is.
I
Open
will
the
educate
schools.
myself. I will
Open
give you-
Open
the
the
schools.
My fault,
motherfucking
man.
school.
Well, we did in
Motherfuckers watch High School Musical but don't know who Barry Gordy is?
in elementary school. We did a Motown thing. I was one of the Temptations, right? That's how I
Who
knew
are you?
Temptations.
Which temptation were you?
I don't know, man. One of them had
Are
a.
you singing the highs or the
One
lows?
of us had a tie, the other ones didn't, or whatever. One of us had a bow tie, whatever. And then the Supremes. That's how I know the Supremes and the Temptations.
You ain't know
I-
Stevie was on Motown?
I did not know Steve was on Motown. Obviously, the Jackson 5, but that's it. That's my Motown education. I was not like, man, let me go and check out these Motown tunes. Maybe that's a failure on my part, but nobody
Damn,
was like, man,
the African household not listening to Motown.
we're not listening to Michael Jackson, the African brother. We was listening to African music again. My
Can I tell you
parents.
something? You know who listens to African music?
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
I'm saying,
But not only that, but not only that,
Michael-
go spin Moonwalker. At the end of Moonwalker, a beautiful song is performed by an African group called Ladysmith Black Mambazo. And the name of the the name of
Oh,
the
the Paul Simon record.
the name of the song is it's called The Moon Is Walking. And they're talking about Michael Jackson has them in that because once again, there was not a bigger student of world culture and music and those influences than Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson brought fucking Teddy Riley in to do the New Jack Swing type of shit. He's hearing it. He's up on this shit. He's doing this shit. He's just like there hasn't been another one like him. Right. And this movie just doesn't get there on that.
I will say though, the one thing I wish they would have included is my favorite Michael Jackson clip of all time. Any single time somebody shares the "We Are the World" video,
Oh, and
man.
he's singing.
He's
and-
just ignore. Man, there need to be more cameos. There had to have been some legal
There
thing
had
where it's
to
like
be
we
more
can't show the Paul
cameos,
McCartneys of the
man.
world. We can't show anybody
Because
else.
because
Eddie Van Halen in it. They say,
Oh,
they say, oh, you know who that is. They say, they say that's that Van
Van
Halen
Halen
shit.
yeah.
It's Eddie Van Halen playing it. So like even that though, once again, Mike is hearing what are people listening to right now that is making the sound of America. And in the early to mid to late 80s, Van Halen and the way Eddie Van Halen was playing his guitar was revolutionary.
Yeah.
He had a different sound that nobody else had. So Mike went, I need that fucking sound. Put the fucking sound on my shit. Crazy shit.
we didn't even get a story about Billie Jean. We didn't go into any of the songs. Like I was like, dog, put him in the fucking studio. Let me see him fucking sing this shit.
Nah, man.
If a whole movie about Michael Jackson was just making an album, that would have been more compelling.
Just the making of Thriller.
making a thriller,
Like just
would've
him
been
locked in a
crazy.
studio figuring shit out.
Him and Quincy, yeah, that'd have been cool, but we didn't get enough of that, man.
We ready? We ready for the midnight meter?
Yeah, man.
All right, y'all know what the midnight meter is. 1 to 12, 1 terrible, 11, 12 reserved for true game changers. I think I got to give this movie a 3.
Yeah. It's a 3. I was tempted
Honestly,
to
that's
go
higher
lower.
than I thought.
I thought I was going to give it a 1, but I will say just in terms of just
Jafar, I gotta give Jafar.
Jafar did a great performance, and
Jafar
there are
innocent.
points in this movie where there is something about being in a theater, hearing the mic, like
Hearing
hearing
the
You're not
music
wrong.
is pretty great.
Come on.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So it gets a 3 for the music and Jafar.
It gets a 3 for the music and Jafar. And I will say, at the end of the movie, you do care that Michael Jackson is able, at least I did. You do care that Michael Jackson was able to get free of his fathers. Because the prevailing narrative in the movie is Michael Jackson finding himself and getting free of his father's clutches as a fucking 25-year-old man that had sold 30 million records that still stay at home. And like it
Wild.
Getting free of his father's clutches. And at the end, when he does decide to go out on his own
He walks off.
and he walks away, I am
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn, good job, Mike.
But you already said it, bro. Man, Joe Jackson won't be talking to me no type of way. What?
After
You see how
I don't know,
that's
after off the wall, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be a little bit, but then after Thriller,
You can't
That was
you
the
actually
funniest
can't say
shit.
shit to me.
come on, man.
when John Hawkins says, or however he says, like, says the facts through. And
Yeah.
yo, Joe is waiting. And like, Michael's like, oh, I'm gonna get some ice cream. Shuts the door.
And Joe
Joe
Jackson-
Jackson like
They're
3
in his
times.
house. They're in his house.
That happened like 3 times where Joe Jackson would like sneak up on Mike or be in his room or be around the corner. I'm
Like Mike
what?
Myers.
When Mike got the plastic surgery, and he was like, hey,
Come here, son.
He's like, sorry, dude.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I wanted to give it a 2, but I think you guys are right in that. Like that performance. I think the bad one sticks with me. I'm gonna give it 1 point just for Jafar alone. Give it a 3. One of the best movie going experience of my life, not because of the movie, because we were sitting there, we couldn't believe what we were watching.
Oh,
It's
they
great- it's great to
never,
laugh.
who's racing this Lionsgate,
yeah,
they
never
like,
invited
them
us
4
again.
never coming to a screening again.
Oh, yeah, we done.
Dead silent.
Yeah.
And
we
we
done.
was.
I turned to my left, and Van is like, yo, man, this is. I can't believe
Are they
what I'm
for real with
watching.
this
Nah, when
bubble
I
shit?
turned to my right, and Charles is like this, like he can't believe what he's watching.
When the Bloods and Crips were like banging their heads into that mic, I was like, all right.
It was it's a tough watch, but watching with you guys is great. Got to give it a 3.
Steve.
3 as well. Like it really is. It's so tough, but Jafar really is good, and like a couple of other performances are notable as well. Like Coleman really does.
There's no bad.
his best.
There's
Like,
no real bad performances in the movie.
Really,
Nobody
really quick,
misses in terms of that.
what
no.
are the good music biopics? Because to me, it is a very, very cursed genre.
Walk Hard.
Walk Hard really is
Walk
a
Hard
perfect movie.
destroyed the biopic. the
Right.
music biopic.
It should have at least.
Right.
Ray, I still
I
think
do like Ray.
Ray is
good.
great.
Ray's
Ray's
really
good. Ray's good.
Jamie Foxx earned that Oscar.
the original Jackson.
American
Family
Family Dream is a fantastic. Really, a lot of the ones
Dreamgirls.
that
That's actually not.
It's not.
What do
It's
you
kind of
think-
based on.
What do you think of
Springs,
Walk the
but-
Line?
Huh? Walk the Line is good,
Mhm.
but like a lot of the ones that they did miniseries of, because they have so much more time. Like the Temptations was a
I bought-
miniseries.
The Temptations one is good.
That's what I was
It's
trying to figure out. I was
phenomenal.
like, is
The
that a
Temptations was
miniseries or a movie?
miniseries. So like that one's good, but it's not. They're not
They come and
easy.
see
They're
you,
not
Otis.
easy to make. But I'm to the point. As I said on Bill's pod, I'm to the point to where I almost think that the biopic itself is dead.
It really
Like the
feels rogue.
the movie biopic because
The
Oppenheimer just came out.
Okay, Oppenheimer works, right?
But here, what I would say about that is, to me, Oppenheimer is a spectacle movie where it is like, yes, it is about Oppenheimer, but it is about Christopher Nolan leading you up to the climax of we are going to see a nuclear explosion. I tend to agree where the only biopics to me, I don't know if you guys saw this movie that work, is like that movie Blackberry, where it is like you are
Oh yeah,
you are
Blackberry's
taking
amazing.
a story that you think you know,
Mm-hmm.
and you are telling a specific moment in time. You're not going cradle to the grave.
Yeah.
I think that shit is done. If you're gonna do a biopic now, you almost have to break the genre
Yeah.
from
I
the beginning.
liked the Steve Jobs, Aaron Sorkin one with Michael Fassbender. I really like that
it's a
movie.
good movie.
Yeah,
But like once again, look at the structure.
exactly. It's structured and it's focused.
Social
on-
Network.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wait, X is a great biopic.
Yeah,
there,
sure.
there are biopics that have come out that are great. There are biopics about lesser known people
I
that have
think-
come out.
but
that are
music
fantastic.
biopics
The
to
music
me are
Music
biopics in
biopics.
general, yeah.
Like in and of
Yeah.
themselves, because the music, it seems like it's a cheat code, but it actually can sometimes weigh the film down.
it really
right?
does.
A complete unknown was not the Springsteen biopic was fucking terrible.
I didn't see
Jeremy
that.
Allen
A
White?
Complete Unknown wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
It
Fine.
wasn't great.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great.
I would have rather had Michael be closer to a Complete Unknown, just in terms of just like at least interrogating a little bit
Right.
what makes this person a genius.
Right.
Like actually maybe giving us a little less music and more story.
Right.
Where this one was all music. And
Very little story.
Very little
are we, all
story.
right, really quick nerd news. Are we ready to talk about first trailer, Clayface is out, next, not the next movie from DC, but after Supergirl.
Yeah.
This is coming out in October, I believe October 23rd.
Right.
I will start off. I think potentially the gun has jammed for our man.
Whoa.
no.
Actually, you
no.
know what? You know
Good
what? This
trailer.
is not shocking. This is not shocking. Coming from you, of course.
Yeah,
It's a
whatever.
good trailer.
Of
No,
course.
it's a really good
It's a
trailer.
really good
Yeah,
trailer.
it's a good trailer.
Yeah.
It's a good trailer.
good.
I've been with you. We've been on the James Pistola hate train for a minute.
James Pistola.
we got to come together, man. He might have some juice, bruh. First of all, this is a Mike Flanagan joint. We got to stop.
Yeah, we're gonna be
attributing
fine.
all the stuff to James Gunn. I was intrigued. Now there probably won't be more Batman. I'm gonna be mad about it. However, this looked interesting. Clayface, he's doing the thing with the using the clay as a mace or whatever. The guy there's a chance that this movie, despite like it not being like all the way like in the vein of what we think of when we like Superman and Supergirl, whatever, this could be interesting and not really fun, but scary and interesting. I'm there. I'm with it. I thought the trailer did a great job of selling me on the premise of the film or what the world's gonna look like.
Yeah.
And
the vibes were great.
I liked it.
I really liked it. I think
Thought
that
it was great.
there's a great anchoring of like that, just like that dead-eyed stare of him just like looking into the hospital, like in horror or thinking of something. And
Face
then all of
melting.
face melting.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's got some great practical effects. I really like this stuff.
Dude, when he's in the
And
bathtub.
when he pulls his face down,
Come on,
I'm like,
man.
this is actually,
I'm
that's
like, okay,
really
hold
cool.
on.
Charles,
hold
what did
on.
you like about it?
Nothing?
And maybe this isn't fair to the movie. I just don't give a fuck about Clayface. And
I
I
get
think
it.
the trailer, what I would need from a trailer to be like, damn, no wonder they made a Clayface movie. And I just left the trailer, because I'll be real. It was not like a bad, like, if you're interested in horror, if you're interested in the Batman movies and just as a character, I could honestly see why you would walk away from this trailer and be like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be a fun time at the movie. This is so interesting. Just watching it, I was just like, I still don't give a fuck about
Let me ask you a
Clayface.
question.
Sure.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Let's say you didn't know that. Let's say we can do something which we have not been able to do in 6 fucking years,
Right.
which is make you go into something without any expectation at all.
Okay.
Does the trailer look cool?
Wait, are we asking like
Clayface or
look
no?
cool? Like, would I buy it? If I didn't know nothing about this movie, would I buy a ticket?
No.
after seeing this
Okay,
trailer?
just no. Forget about that. Nothing. Just from what you saw, does it look cool?
It looks fine. Damn, it looks fine.
Damn,
Man,
man.
it doesn't look bad. It's just like
Tough.
Now,
of
Tough.
all of the cool shit that is like blasted into like my eyes
Oh my
on a
God.
daily basis.
What
Did
the
they-
fuck? Of
Flag
all
on the play.
cool shit that's are you all right? Of all the cool shit that's blasted into your
Come
eyes,
on, man.
it's cool or is it warm?
Come on,
Go ahead.
Stop.
Here's what I'm curious about, because this is going to be DC's like foray into their quote unquote mid-budget attempts at movies. This is made for like what, sub 100 million?
Yeah.
Like
Something like
50
that.
some odd something?
Very, very cheap, especially for like a superhero.
Yes, I like the idea of making something a little grittier, a little smaller, and probably less involved in this DCU. I like this idea, and I think that when you put Mike Flanagan in it, I think this is a recipe for success. I think that it's good. There's no way it doesn't make good money.
I like
There's a
the
way.
I like the trailer.
I mean,
very much.
there's a way that
Brother.
that it doesn't make good
You think
money.
this? I don't think this could brick.
I don't think it could brick, but
There's a way that this bitch make like $70 million. Yeah, like, there's a way that this
how much
bitch
did Weapons make? And everybody was like, "Yeah, Weapons made."
Weapons made
a
like
ton of money.
Well, it's because the ratio between like the returns on that were insane.
That's true, but also like Weapons is like one of the highest grossing horror movie last year, or last year, 2 years ago, whatever it came
it's
out.
because the margin was so high.
Well, I mean that, but also it made
Weapons
like
made 270. That's a good haul.
270 is actually not
Off
bad.
a budget of what? Like
Budget of 38.
38.
38,
270 is
insane.
actually not bad. Actually, I thought it
Not
made
bad.
less
That's
than that.
fucking
it's
phenomenal.
amazing.
I thought it was worse.
Place
The way
yourself.
I feel about the villain movies,
Very Gordy.
Barry Gordy.
Is it Barry Gordon or Barry Gordy?
Shut the fuck up, dog.
I feel like the way we feel about Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, and biopics, so I feel about Joker and villain movies, where that was
that killed the villain movie.
That killed the villain movie, right? If we gotta rehabilitate these guys, and Joker's the worst of the worst.
Sure.
You try to make us feel bad for Joker, and that didn't work.
I'm looking at this trailer.
I can feel bad for
And I
Clayface.
see
easy.
shot after shot
That's really good.
of this guy laying in the bed, agonizing.
You got the
close up.
Two-Face.
What's going
tips
on
on
with
it?
his face? The whole nine. This seems like a really interesting genre body horror situation.
Right. I don't like these villain movies. I think, especially when you don't put the main heroes in there, I don't like it. But I'm interested to see what this looks like because there's a level of like horror. We don't like a horror superhero movie. We don't get those.
Yeah, and the story of Clayface pretty much is that. Like, I think back to the animated series, that story of that actor that's like losing his body and his mind.
When they do it again in the new Batman on that was on Amazon.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like there's a level of like we're familiar with the story, but to see it in live action for real,
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. You gotta open your heart, brother.
I'm done. I'm just done with the C-list villain shit. I don't care.
I mean, like, I don't disagree with you, but you still gotta like go into their open mind, open heart.
No, because here's the
Can't
thing.
lose.
And this is how I've been feeling. Because I'm so proud of what the Midnight Boys do. A lot of motherfuckers talking down on the superhero content, talking down on the nerd content.
That's you.
Whoa.
He does that.
That was funny. That was King Von telling people to put the guns down. That was funny.
Put the guns down.
Charles, I can't even fuck with you on that. That was funny.
What?
That was King
Whoa.
Von. That was King Von saying stop the violence. That was fucking hell.
He's looking at the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm in the streets watching this shit. So I can talk
This
shit.
nigga is something else.
One of
This
one.
guy-
One of one.
Bro, this guy is something else, bro. I can't tell you, bro.
A lot of
I'm in the
motherfuckers out there
streets, bro.
talking
This
shit.
nigga
I'm
is
buying
something else,
tickets.
dog.
I'm buying tickets.
This nigga is crazy. dog.
You don't have the answers.
Something else, bro. All right.
Oh, last but not least,
yeah,
did we watch the Mando Grogu clip?
it's tough.
Let the people know how you feeling.
Y'all know me, man. My superpower is positivity. All I do is I try to bring the energy. I try to bring the love. I try to bring the hype because we live in a tough world right now, and everybody needs a ray of sunshine. There's no other way to put it. That was a tough watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Zeb. I love Mando. I love Grogu, but that looked like a 2 p.m. PBS special. And it's supposed to be a Star Wars movie, not a television show that you put on Disney Plus and you watch on your screen at the crib. No. You're supposed to go to Infinity Vision and watch this. My brothers in Christ.
TM.
I'm not quite at the. You know how sportscasters be like, they're not dead yet, but they're on life support. That's where we're at right now.
Right.
The beeping is getting heavy, brother. It might be time to start making some
We need
calls
to-
and pull
I'm
that
pivoting.
plug.
Mando and Grogu. I'm putting my money on.
Look,
Money on-
All right.
What? He's
So,
buying
man,
tickets.
this look.
This is your Black Adam bit. You
Yeah.
Oh, here we
Black
go.
Adam
reheating
pivot.
the
Nah.
Black Adam nachos. Oh no, man.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be so embarrassed when this movie comes
Hold
out.
on, I still hold out hope that the movie is good.
There's a
Of course we hope the movie's good.
Have we seen anything good from the movie yet?
I think that trailer was pretty good.
Trailer was all right.
Which
Yeah.
one? The
Which
second
one?
one?
The,
The
second one?
that
Yeah.
they put out.
Okay.
The second one brought some life back. Second one brought some life back, but this one, man, I'm like, yo, there's
Are they hiding something? That's my last question for y'all.
They have
Are
to be.
they hiding
They have
something?
to be.
Almost-
Brother,
yeah,
I
you're right.
hope
They almost
so.
would have to be. Yeah.
Because every
I
single
hope
time
so.
I watch something, I'm like, what aren't you showing me? That is the bit, because I'm like, who is the villain?
Yeah.
What is the
What's
thing?
the actual thing that they're doing?
Like, who could it be? If you guys could predict, what could be the thing that they're hiding where we get into the movie theater and we're actually like, we were wrong this whole time?
they cooked.
Like,
Here's the thing, because like anything that's like bigger to the portrait of Star Wars would feel like a cop out because it's like more required reading that we don't have
who could
going
be,
in.
You can't. I don't think
who's
you
bigger
can,
than Luke Skywalker? 'Cause
That's what I was about to say. You can't do the season 2 finale again,
Yeah.
where Luke Skywalker shows up, and you're like, even though that was a good season of television, you're like, oh my gosh, Luke's here.
You can't pull that card again.
You can't pull that card.
If they-
There's nobody who can
let's say
match
they
that.
recast Luke in this movie and he
A
does
cameo can't save this one. This
Yeah.
movie's
Think so?
got to go out on its own merits with its own story.
You
and
can't.
be a good
It,
movie.
not a Rogue One thing. Well, where Darth Vader shows up and you like.
Darth Vader actually at the end of Rogue One enhances. That was dessert.
It didn't say Rogue One was still good.
Yeah, it
but
was,
Right, yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Like that was dessert to a really, really good meal that made the whole experience better. Like in this one, they're gonna need to come with a story that is about the relationship between these two characters. It's steeped in wonder with the corner of Star Wars that the Mandalorian Grogu occupy. They're gonna have to nail this. They're not gonna be able to fan service.
I think there's going to be some amount of fan service that's going to piss somebody
I mean,
off.
could be. There'll be certainly be something in there. Like when I see some of these characters, but what I'm saying is not that stuff won't be in there, but none of that stuff will save this movie.
It's just harder. It's harder and harder to stay positive. The stuff that we're seeing, aside from the second trailer, is bonkers. Me and you were arguing about it. Like, what does success for the movie look like? How much did it cost to make this movie?
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Couple
Yeah,
$100 million?
because I'm like $500 million.
Yeah,
if
what
we
does a
get-
brick for this movie
Because
look like?
Solo, what we say, Solo made 3 something.
yeah.
It's got to make more than Solo.
I don't think it. There's a version of this movie that does not do.
And then
Solo numbers.
if you are
Reported
Star
production
Wars,
budget of 166.
That's low.
Oh.
That's low
once
That's low?
is
for a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, kind of.
man.
No,
Yeah.
kind of my ass.
I
That's
feel like-
low.
Okay, but you think you could have made this for like
This is the this
125?
is the lowest budget Disney era Star Wars movie. That's a low budget for that movie. I mean, that's still a lot of money to
It's
spend
a
on
lot
the
of
movie,
money,
but
yeah.
that's a low budget for them.
what do you think this movie got to make to break even?
Off one to break even, I don't know because of all the cost that goes into it.
What's a success for this movie?
Yeah.
350?
450. I mean,
450.
look, I hesitate to even talk about this. I more care about like what they're able to do with the movie. Like,
Yeah.
Thunderbolts was a success to me, and the
Yeah.
film didn't make a whole shit. ton of money.
I don't disagree with you. I think even if people like this movie and it like bricks, then we don't have Star Wars in theaters for like five
No,
10 years.
whatever.
Because we have a Gosling movie coming. It's
That's
not
true.
like
It's true.
You know
There's
what?
Star Wars projects out there that's getting made. No matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah, they are.
You know what? Actually, and maybe that's the hang up for me is that it's not this movie. It's Starfighter, right? When this movie comes out, we'll talk about it. We'll watch it. It'll make however much money it makes. But when Starfighter comes out, and obviously Ryan Gosling, I mean, I don't want to say he's the top of his game right now, but
He's the biggest star in the world
his
right now.
stock is as high as it's ever been, right? He's the man right now. That movie comes out, and Star Wars and Ryan Gosling can't put you over the top. Then it's time for like a real
if I'm going to be
conversation.
honest, I could see a world where Project Hail Mary looms a little bit large over the Star Wars project, where
You think so?
where people have such a connection to that movie now emotionally
Sure.
that to put Ryan Gosling back into space so soon,
It's so soon.
We said it
you
back.
gonna be like,
We
Hey,
said it
man,
Grace back.
People in the theater like, hey,
Where's
I need
Rocky?
at least 6 years before I seen this motherfucker back in space now. This shit is too fucking much. How does nigga get back to space?
I
Where
mean,
the rock at?
Will Smith did it.
Will Smith went to space every 2 years, brother. Went to space, this nigga went to the future.
You think they're gonna put Rocky in Starfighter, like in the background?
They
like
might
put,
have to.
That would
like
be
they
funny.
put ET
It would be great.
That'd be
in the
funny.
joint, and
Put
you
him in
see
that bitch.
like
Fuck it.
you see some
Yeah.
Iridians in the background. That'd be nice. That'd be kind of cool, man. If you Disney man, lock
That's a
in.
great Easter egg. That's some fan
It's a
service for me.
fantastic Easter egg. Rocky question? That'd be great.
All right. Question?
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Guys, we have to be honest about how we felt about the movie.
Tough.
What the fuck it is. Okay. Michael fucking Jackson.
Come
All
on.
right, here we do. You like that? Barry Gordy, guys.
Barry Gordy.
Gordy.
Barry
Remember the
fucking
name.
Gordy, guys. Yeah, remember the name.
Come on, Lee.
And shout out to Mr. Gordy, who's still alive.
Still in the
I
league.
wonder how he feels about this movie.
In his mid to late 90s, he's still alive.
Catherine Jackson still alive.
Still
Wow.
alive.
Hold it down.
Changed the fucking world, Barry Gordy did. That's a wrap. Program reminders. Next week, the Midnight Boys will be continuing our reactions to The Boys, as well as Bud Mash giving their thoughts on Saros and Invincible Versus.
I played Invincible Versus. Fun game. You would love Invincible Versus
Yeah, you would.
because
Thrag,
it is.
Thrag in it?
Yeah.
Is Thrag on the show this year?
Yes.
Yes.
You've asked this 1,000 times.
Thrag is on the show this season.
It is a 3v3 co-op.
3v. Oh, okay. I like that.
It
shit.
is Marvel
Oh, so
versus
it's Marvel
Capcom.
too.
Yeah.
Well,
In-
3 really, because
Oh,
two. Well,
Uh,
in 2, there's 2 characters and you have an assist character. But this is a 3v3.
3v3.
Not
Yes,
an
sir.
assist character. Huh.
You love that.
But
you got
on
the
this
gamepad,
season of the
man.
show, do they have Thrag? All right. Our producers today are Aleya, Zenieris, Devon, Baroldi, Jomi, Adeniran, on socials, and additional production by Arjuna Ramgopowell. Chuck, take us out.
Barry Gordy is a legend.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Clayface is sad. And unfortunately,
Oh.
this Michael Jackson movie was very bad.